And we are back here, guys, on the gauntlet. The final chance for a team from Korea to get a final spot in the League of Legends Season 3 World Championships. Will it be one of our two teams today, CJ Frost or KT Bullets? Frost on your screen right now. They didn't look so hot in game number 1. Will they be able to tie it up? And there's Ryu, the Eeyore of League of Legends in Korea. No matter what happens, he just always looks sad.
11-1 in one game is cool.
I know. I died once. I was terrible.
It's okay.
Somebody give Ryu a hug. Come on.
Cheer up, Ryu.
Cacaw's always... See, what happened is Cacao actually sucked all the happy emotions out of Ryu. Maybe Cacao and Rio are like two halves of the same person, and the emotions got divided up between the two. I think we've discovered the actual science behind this.
All right.
It's science. You can't explain that.
How does it work?
That's right.
Well, Cloud Templar, I would really like to see him return to a 5v5 composition from Frost this time around.
Yeah, I think that's their bread and butter. It's what they're good at. Will they do it here in game number 2? Picks and bans time immediately. The Blitzcrank ban. There's a Fizz ban, actually.
Well, we have seen GBM play Fizz in the past, so they don't want to give it up. And will the Thresh come down? Yes, it will.
Yeah,
so that probably means they'll first pick either Zyra or Sona.
Yeah.
If they don't want Frost to have those champions. And they've been really putting an emphasis on Zyra recently. Even though we haven't seen Mad Life play it much competitively, I suspect that there is some solo queue shenanigans going down here.
Well, I've talked about this before. With supports in Korea, you're really a Zyra player or you're not a Zyra player. There's not a lot of people that play Zyra just once in a while. You either see it a ton or not at all from supports here. So seeing players like Mad Life pick up Zyra once in a while is a little bit surprising, and the mechanics for that champion are very different from a lot of other supports. So it is difficult to pick up if you're already familiar with a different champion support pool. So
true enough.
We'll see.
And Shen picked up first by the KT Bullets. It did manage to elude the pick and ban phase this time. Insec and Shy both favor that champion quite heavily, but that'll give Frost a chance to take that Caitlyn away from Score.
Yeah.
We did see how much of a hard time Space and Mad Life had laning against that champion in the last match.
Very true. Score, though, has a lot of other good champions at his disposal. That Corki, of course, now good again because of the buffs to Trinity Force. And, of course, Ezreal, too. And there it's going to be Caitlyn Sona. So Mad Life, I'm not too surprised about this. I mean, he is much more comfortable on Sona.
Well, this is a great lane, too. If you want to play a very safe lane, you've got the long range, you've got the poke from Caitlyn and Sona, you've got that sustain. This is about as safe as you can get these days if you want to have a duo lane. So they realize they lost last time. They're going to try and play it as conservatively as possible this time around.
Yep. And Ryu on your screen. We'll see if they pick someone up for him. 2 picks incoming for the KT Bullets. And there's a possible Fiddlesticks without Caitlyn, though.
Well, they played it with Corki, they played it with Ezreal, they play it with everything right now. They know, Mafa knows how to use this champion to remove people from turret defense and get those kills. And there it is coming in with the Ezreal once again. Score has been absolutely amazing on Ezreal in the past week.
On Gank by Mom gets to play his best champion, Orianna. We've seen some fantastic games from him on that champion. Gets a lot of bans against him for it. And we'll see if he can get some good shockwaves off this game. But there's that Gragas for Ryu.
We've seen it banned a lot just because of how effective Ryu is at removing people from turrets. It just magnifies the siege potential of the KT Bullets. Go ahead, toss that ult out, knock him off the turret, and then take some free shots at it while you're there. Chip away at that tower. In addition to that burst potential from Gragas, it's been a very effective pick from the KT Bullets. CJ Frost, on the other hand, going very standard, very safe, by the book in terms of their team composition. They've got that great Sona-Jarvan combo for the crescendo over the Cataclysm. They can fast push, they can split push, they can 5v5. They are good to go.
And Cacao going to be picking up Vi, it looks like, this time around.
Well, ever since they faced SK Telecom T1, the KT Bullets have put a pretty large priority on that champion. And it combos really nicely with Shen, too, because you can get into the back lines immediately, make sure you land some pretty significant taunts.
Yep. And I mean in lane 2, if you're ganking, you can also pair it up with the Fear from Fiddlesticks or the Explosive Cast from Gragas. A lot of time to aim both of those. Well, you don't need to aim the Fear with Fiddlesticks, but a lot of time to aim the Explosive Cask anyway, and use it in a similar way. Vilocks up the champion, and then the other one in lane gets him in a position where you can make sure you can finish them off.
Yeah, Gragas a really strong pick with Fiddlesticks because with the disruption, you get people within fear range and you send one champion towards you, lock him up for 3 seconds and burst him down the rest of the way. And Shy has a noted Singed player maybe bringing it back in this game. And yes,
he will.
He will.
All right. Well, we see people use Singed a lot to try to shut down Shen up in top lane, make it harder for him to farm up against that turret. We see that dirty farming Singed quite a bit lately in Korea.
Yes, and you're right, Joe. It's almost always a reaction to the early poor wave clear from Shen, really limiting his ability to farm without taking a lot of damage from minion waves. And that's exactly what we're going to see here again tonight. Shy running that teleport to give him a little bit more map pressure, but they're not going to have a lot of damage until the late game. So Frost has to be pretty dedicated to a longer laning phase this time around, and they have to avoid that strong pick potential coming out of Vi and Shen.
Well, late game oriented team fighting Frost. Who knew, you know? Who knew?
Well, I'm glad they've returned to it this time.
I agree. Well, there's our roster as you can see it on the screen right now. Don't know if I have time to read through it all, but you can read, right? Hopefully. I mean, you kind of have to if you're going to be typing in like website addresses and stuff, so I'm going to assume that you can. There's Cloud Templar looking a little bit happier. The spirits are up a bit since the end of that last game. We're still early on in this best of 5. It's anybody's match here. At OGN, there's Insect and there's Shy, the 2 top laners on either team. The game is loading up, guys, and very soon we'll see, can CJ Frost tie it up, or will Ryu and the rest of the KT Bullets be able to get a 2-0 lead and put them 1 game away from facing SK Telecom tomorrow for that final world seed? Let's get in the game and find out. Welcome to Summoner's Rift, set to KT Bullets versus CJ Frost.
소환사의 협곡에 오신
moving out on the map, and we see that fanning out opening again from KT Bullets, wanting to deny those deep vision wards that we see so many Korean teams try to do.
Yeah, and we also see Shy starting with that Doran's Ring, so a more aggressive opener right here.
Yeah.
Just to get that early damage down on Shen and really bully him out of lane at the beginning of the game. Flag goes down in the brush, giving him that vision. 5-man train coming in from the KT Bullets. Ryu backs off to watch the rear here.
That's right. He's like a bouncer.
And there we go. There's that lane ward. So KT Bullets trying to get a preferential matchup, and who could blame them? They really don't want Shen to be in a 1v1 against Singed. And with that, we'll see Insect recalling as they did catch sight of that Singed, but it looks like Shy will be emulating that as well. Oh. They're just trying to keep vision on Singed right now.
Yep. Well, Singed has vision on them. Shy recalling. Are they going to pick up another pot?
Well, they are going to go for that 1v1, so a little bit of mind games right there from Frost sticking around so that Singed can follow this minion wave up. He will maybe lose a creep or 2, but the KT Bullets.
Yeah, really going hard onto this red buff here. Kakao taking some big chunks, trying to do it. I don't know if they're going to get this red buff.
They are tying up. They're tying it up for a while, though, and that's going to give Ryu a minor edge in terms of golden experience here in this mid lane.
They did put some damage down on the Cloud Templar as well, too, so that'll make it a little bit more annoying for him to finish his first clear. Have to use an extra pot or 2.
They also forced the smite out of him. Kakao probably have to use smite here as well in order to take down the blue buff.
Single-handedly, or double-handedly, but with a single person.
With 2 giant hands.
2 giant hands, so it's really more like quadruple-handedly. All right, it won't be so hard after all. And we've got this 2v2 again. And immediately already, Space and Mad Life push back a bit. So hard to stand toe-to-toe in lane against that Fiddlesticks.
Well, Mad Life already throwing down all of his wards right here. And Mad Life, a Sona player that loves to run double penetration marks, hybrid pen marks, for doing a little bit of extra damage with the power chords and Valor early on in the game. Very aggressive style of Sona play from Mad Life, generally speaking.
I like it. It's good style, if you ask me. And Mava, yeah, taking some damage here. Already, the poke has been pretty good. Really good, in fact. And Space and Mad Life getting a nice little edge early on here.
Yeah, I think this is a much smarter game plan coming in.
Insec a little bit caught here. Taunts away, he'll be okay. And actually, I think he messed up his Huey combo there.
I believe he did. It was off cooldown, so there's not really a reason why that happened. Cloud Templar may have just made a little bit of an error right there.
Yeah.
Could have probably forced a flash from Insec had he managed to land the combo. Not going to get it this time, Kakao. Taking a slower route through that jungle after pulling a little bit of a contest right there at the red buff of Frost.
Right. Well, here comes Cloud Templar back up to that top lane. They're going to see if they can get any sort of presence done with that. He may just rotate into the jungle again, but I think he wants to help Space maintain. Hey, look, it's Ring Troll.
That's
He's
right.
here.
Ring Troll is the former jungler of LG Incredible Miracle, another team here in Korea.
I guess that goes all the way back to Champions Winter, doesn't it? But
yeah, he hasn't been professionally playing for a long time, but he is a known personality.
Yeah, known early on for just amazing Lee Sin play. And Cloud Templar walking through that ward. They know he's there.
They're trying to put as much pressure on the duo lane as possible.
Yeah.
They know that Cacao is not likely to be up there, especially when they see him in that mid lane. And the score in Mafa becoming such a huge problem in the last game. They need to shut him down this time around, and it's working. We see Space with that large CS lead already.
Yeah. And this is really, I mean, as dominating as the Bullets looked in game number one, this is really a series and really two teams that could go the distance. I would not be surprised at all to see this one go to game 5. And I'll say it again, I feel like KT has some momentum coming into this, and they showed it in game number 1, but Frost, never a team to really get kind of rattled by losses. They always kind of keep their heads throughout an entire series.
Well, they have that veteran mindset.
Absolutely.
They're one of only a handful of teams in the world that's played on the World Championship stage. And so...
yeah, this is the team that took second place last year, so...
It's difficult to get them off their game.
Yeah.
They definitely have that mental fortitude. But the push going very strong up here in this top lane so far for Space and Mad Life.
Yeah, they're looking really good.
They're serving Score and Mafa a bit of their own medicine. Cacao trying to use that ward bypass with the Q right here. Probably going to... nope.
Oh, or
decides,
not.
thinks better of it.
Yeah, well, Cloud Templar was on his way up there. They didn't have vision of him right then. So, no big shock that they felt a bit uncomfortable going in on that.
Well, we're seeing the effects of getting the lanes you want early on in the game. Last game, though, we saw the KT Bullets. They really got the lane matchups that they wanted. And this time around, Frost did a good job of making that last-second swap to get the 1v1 cinched against Shen, and then the duo lane up there, making life difficult for Score and Mafa.
Well, let's see if it continues here. Space, though, I think feeling much, much more comfortable on Caitlyn this game, it looks like.
And Insec isn't doing a bad job against Singed either. They're nearly even in CS, and he was trading pretty effectively earlier on, and we also see Shy getting that Catalyst pretty soon, so it will make him a bit more durable, give him that extra little bit of sustain that'll keep him there. But Insec already going back and getting that Megatron Cloak and a Health Crystal before Boots even, so he just really wants to survive the harassment, farm up, and play for that late game.
Makes sense. Ooh, Score taking some hits. Needs to be really careful here. Ryu, though, putting down that ward in the jungle, trying to get in position, maybe going on Gank by Mom. He does have level 6. So does Gank by Mom, though.
And something about Gank by Mom, I mean, Gank by Mom has a tendency to do some rather strange builds on many champions.
Cacao trying to contest this red buff, and Cloud Templar needs to run for it, Not enough health here. Are the mid laners going to come up? Not likely. Oh, Maffa very low. There's a flash. Madlife thought he had the kill, and man, he nearly did. So close.
Maffa will escape, though.
Sub 30 hit points for Maffa there.
That's all they need. This is going to trigger that hard push.
Yeah.
Onto that tower. And not a lot the score is going to be able to do. Ryu actually comes up to help defend.
Yep. And there's the ultimate on his face. They grab him in space. Nice explosive cast. First blood goes to Ryu, but a three-man Cataclysm following it up. Oh, they do take out Score. They trade 1-1. Nice shockwave. Kakao in trouble. He goes down. Madlife picks up that kill. Ryu, the last man standing for KT, so it did end up being a 1-for-2. First blood gold did go to Ryu, but still not a bad turnaround for CJ Frost.
And at the same time, we did see that Shen ultimate come in. I don't know whether the target died faster or if he got singed flipped out of his ultimate right there, but he never actually made it up into that top lane, so he couldn't turn the tide, but a very timely rotation by Gank by Mom right there, and a really nice Orianna ultimate following that command protect kill onto Score.
Yeah. And Shy will just continue to farm.
Yeah, not a lot you can do about that at this point.
Nope.
Once Singe starts doing this, if you're playing Shen, you need jungle help or mid lane help in order to deal with this situation. And without it, Singe will simply torment you all day. Score Maffa returning the lane right now, so a 1-for-2 in favor of CJ Frost, and they will take a very slight gold lead along with them.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of this is going to come down to that first dragon, too. I think first dragon is going to be very, very important for KT to try to even things up here.
Well, they do have... The thing about Gank by Mom, I started talking about his builds. So, Gank by Mom has a tendency to... He's got very unique builds to his playstyle. And he tends to get on Orianna after Chalice gets that Haunting Guise. And then that allows him to do a better early Dragon contest because he has that extra bit of damage that he wouldn't have from necessarily going that Athene's Unholy Grail.
Right.
So the magic penetration really helping out his burst right there. And when you're talking about needing to shut down somebody early, it's a smaller power spike in that early game. Of course, doesn't give you quite that same sustain, but if you want to take an objective like Dragon, it's absolutely fantastic.
Oh, Kakao coming in, they knock him out of the recall. Gank by Mom, there we go, the ultimate helping secure it. Nice explosive cast from Ryu, pushing him against the wall. And that's that danger of Vi and Gragas.
And Shy gets his teleport canceled right there. Insect finds him in the brushes and uses that taunt.
Very nice. And they're going to continue to have an unending tanky top laner battle.
As we're so used to these days, as Singed comes back into the competitive scene. It's so interesting to see the picks that were popular at Worlds last year all of a sudden come full circle. Corki, Ezreal, Sin, Jax, probably Aurelia soon too.
And Mop over the roll. Oh, gets crescendoed before he gets any damage done with that Crow Storm. Space finishing him off. Nice dodge with the net too.
A little bit of a lack of coordination there from KT Bullet's part.
Yeah.
Kakao not getting there in the nick of time in order to actually use that Crow Storm, and that sloppy play will actually result in a kill for CJ Frost.
Yeah. Fairly easy for Madlife to set up that crescendo too. I mean, he didn't have flash, didn't need flash. When somebody just walks toward you, it's pretty simple.
Well, vision control going to Frost right now, and we do see that Haunted Guys now coming down onto GBM, which is, I have to say, a bit surprising in the Gragas versus Orianna matchup because maybe thinking about a little bit more sustain in that case because Gragas has that same kind of sustain, the same long range.
And, you know, there it is. CJ takes that first turret, and they may go after this dragon. No, not quite. Everybody's backing off now.
Difficult to go after that when your support and carrier still on top, and here they come.
Yeah, coming out of Maffa. Maffa taking a lot of damage. They do fear space, but Score a little bit on his own. Shen coming in, Madlife on the run, and there's the flash taunt. Madlife flashing out of it. They get Madlife's space, trying to run. They're going to dive it for now. Are they going to continue? Yeah, they are. Ryu with the explosive cast. Space up against the wall. Insect just barely out of range for that taunt. Can't make it connect.
Yeah, decides not to use his flash right there with the rotations coming from mid lane. They got to get out of dodge, Noah.
Whoa! The turret doing a lot of damage here. Cloud Templar not able to trap with the Cataclysm. But Mafa in the back 1v1 against Space. Space with the cleanse out of the fear, and an easy kill for him. Yeah, CJ just looking a little bit too strong right now.
The KT Bullets, if they're going to go for that, they have to commit to it 100% or not at all. Insec waiting to use his flash right there. If they wanted score, they should have gone on score.
Yeah,
or Space, excuse me.
When he came in, I was really expecting that
score.
flash.
Score peeled off because he was out of mana, and it was a dangerous situation. He didn't have any more arcane shifts or mystic shots to pursue that, or to get out if things went south. And Gank by Mom has done a nice job this game of coming up into the top lane as a reaction to the plays that the KT Bullets are making, and that hurts. A not happy Mikau.
He's going to take his anger out on Mad Life, though. Ryu coming down to try to support Mad Life. There's a crescendo, doesn't hit anybody. Ryu with the flip, gets flipped rather. And will they be able to get anything more out of this? Insec on the run for now. And yeah, they're going to be happy with catching Mad Life. The dangers of warding.
The dangers of warding indeed. And they'll go ahead and shove out this mid lane, and we'll see if they want to make a play on the Dragon right here. KT Bullets probably pretty desperate to take an objective at this point after losing that top lane turret.
Going to try for this bottom lane turret for now. They've got a little ways until a minion wave gets to them, though.
Yeah, Space really far ahead of score in terms of that CS, looking like an exact opposite of what we saw last game.
Yeah. Well, you know, we thought this was going to be a pretty back-and-forth series. And Frost did beat KT Bullets on Wednesday, just 2 days ago. A little bit different situation in terms of who was on the roster that day, but still, a win is a win is a win.
Yeah, we now have the Spirit Visage down on Insec as well. That kill really helping him out in terms of completing items and getting him in a situation where he can actually effectively deal with Shy. Shy only just picking up and starting to stack that Rod of Ages, so he's got a little while before that item really going to be gold efficient. But Space, you'll see, not building that Bloodthirster, actually going for the more team fight oriented later game but higher power spike Infinity Edge first this time. So yeah, we should be looking for that 5v5 from Frost, and that really does, as we were talking about in the last game, play to their strengths as a team.
Yeah, I think Frost has this game right where they want it right now, and really, as long as they keep maintaining this, they should be able to move into that very comfortable late game.
Yeah, they've got the farm game going on. They've held the KT Bullets off their towers so far. They've held KT Bullets off the Dragon so far.
Yeah.
Everything going much better for them this time around.
Yes, indeed. Ryu just taking those wraiths, because why not? We may see, probably not going to see a Dragon quite yet. Ryu, though, coming down to this bot lane. And actually, Ryu, okay, so just making an appearance in the Dragon Pit. I think he actually took out a ward there. I wasn't watching too closely, but I believe that's what happened.
Yeah, they're trying to regain control. Frost has had that ward presence there around the Dragon Pit pretty consistently for the last few minutes. And they need to clear that out, make sure that there isn't anything that's going to happen there. Frost trying to sneak something. And again, it's all about that vision wars. Each team sweeping very aggressively. There comes the teleport, though, but Kakao just pops over the wall. Insec immediately goes back to heal up, buy some more items for an imminent fight. He's waiting to use that Stand United to the fountain right now.
Well, here we go. We may have that fight. Space taking a big chunk out of Kakao, a little chunk anyway. And the fight over the Dragon has begun. Kakao coming in. Then on top, there's a crescendo over the top. Pro-Storm Mafa kept out of the fight quite nicely by Cloud Templar. Insec and Kakao trying to walk the long way around that Cataclysm, but it's a little bit too late. CJ Shy chasing Kakao away. Now they turn on Insec and KT already on the run. Shy a little bit low. Poking, coming in from score. There we go, Insec jumping onto Shy. They've got him. Ryu gets that kill. Mad Life on the run a little bit here. Space and Mad Life need to be so careful here. Yeah, they have to back up. A lot of members of KT are pretty low right now.
And Frost really overcommitted to that Dragon there, Doa.
Yeah,
with the poke coming in from both sides of the pit, from Ryu and Score, they managed to get them down enough. And comboing that Shen, we talked about this before the game, but the Vi to Shen connection does so much in terms of locking down your back line. Gank by Mom didn't even have a chance to use Shockwave because he was locked up so hard in that fight. Yeah. But here we go, the teleport was coming in from GBM. and they're going to be able to take that dragon all the same.
Yep, they'll get it. Another objective. And we're almost seeing a little bit from CJ that we've seen from KT lately, where they're okay to trade a couple kills here and there to get those objectives.
Yeah, and I also love the fact that they're running the double teleport this game, Doa, because they had so many problems responding to the KT Bullets rotations last time. This is a very nice adaptation to that. They say, well, we have a summoner spell we can use here. Gangbang doesn't necessarily need that Ignite in lane. He's done just fine for the most part in terms of farming and getting up there. He's a little bit behind right now, but without that Ignite, it allows him to make more aggressive plays on objectives in terms of defense or offense like we saw right there. And that keeps Frost in this game.
Shy may be in a little bit of trouble here. Ryu and Insec all over him. Shy trying to put down as much poison as he can. There's the explosive cask. Actually helps out Shy a little bit, but not enough. As Ryu comes in for the kill, 5-0-2. This game for Ryu, having another fantastic game at mid lane.
He's really been doing a nice job over the past few days.
Yeah.
I mean, Insec has been having a bit of a rough time. Not so much this game, though, with the kills he's managed to pick up, but had a rough time against Flame, had a rough time in game one for Ryu. And there's a fight.
That's right, Space in trouble here. He cleanses, tries to get away, but Insec still chasing. Meanwhile, Mad Life goes down to Score in the background. Oh, true shot barrage. Nice shot from Score to pick up that double kill, and there goes the turret, too. So a little bit of a turnaround. Meanwhile, under the turret in top lane, Kakao and Cloud Templar, the junglers duking it out just a bit. But now we have a bit of a gold lead for KTB.
Yeah, Kakao has had a lot of access to free farm this game, too. You can see that difference really starting to take hold, 30 CS up. And that's putting him in a really comfortable position to get that Aegis first. And whoever gets the Aegis or the Locket first is going to have a pretty solid advantage in terms of team fighting here.
Oh, for sure.
So
right,
if Kakao
Ryu
can pick it up, and there he
it
goes.
is. There's the ultimate Ryu coming up. He's going to push him away with that explosive cast. A nice combo, though, from Cloud Templar. Saves his own life there.
Now it's just going to be more farm for Ryu, though. More turret pressure for the KT Bullets as Shy has to make his move up into that top lane.
GBM getting the blue buff there. And this game is still on a razor's edge right now. Still just one turret to one.
Surprisingly bloody, too. 15 kills in 20 minutes. The team's really going hard over that dragon.
I'm not complaining.
Or am I? I love a good bloodbath here in League of Legends.
Hooray for combat.
Well, Insec looking to mirror the movements of Shy this game, building primarily that magic resist right off the back. So he's the designated split pusher against Singed.
Well, Spirit Visage also just so good overall this patch as well.
Any CDR that you get onto Shen is going to do you a lot of favors, having that critical stand united up if you need it.
Very true. A few more taunts doesn't hurt either.
And if you guys are looking to use that Trinity Force on AD carries, I would definitely recommend going Score's build path on Ezreal and Corki, which is Trinity straight into the Last Whisper. Allows you to poke extremely hard in the mid game. And typically he's been following this up afterwards with an Infinity Edge on Ezreal to magnify that damage just a little bit more. And he's been absolutely wrecking with it.
That makes you wonder, are the days of the blue Ezreal over? Well, here we go. Fight in the mid lane. Cloud Templar coming in. They can't quite catch him. Kakao getting away with that Q.
Vault Breaker is a pretty good escape mechanism, as it turns
Yes,
out.
it is.
Hard to take down a Vi if you don't have any CC.
Well, it doesn't say if you're breaking in or breaking out, so you can really use it for either one.
Where are the vaults, Doa?
I don't know.
even see any.
They're just, the vault is sort of the metaphorical situation that Kakao on Vi is in.
We're getting very literary with this.
He was in the vault of danger from the gang from CJ, and he broke out. And this turret in a bit of danger as well. It gets very low. Will they be able to finish it? Yes, they will. There it goes. But a fight here in the mid lane. Cataclysm comes down. Crescendo, not too useful. Kakao a bit wrapped up. Gets away. Mop over the wall with the Crow Sword. Cloud Templar very low. Has to back away. Insect gets the kill anyway. Shy comes in the middle, not able to get any favorable flips. And Insect coming in on Shy. There's the ultimate. Nice shockwave, though. Will it be able to save anybody's life? Maffa goes down. Gank by Mom, though, can't survive the might of Score. Score with a double kill here. A triple kill.
The triple kill
Really
follow-up
nice.
there with the ticks from the red buff.
Yeah.
On to Mad Life and Space. Sadly, not even really too much of a part of that fight. And we did see a really good Orianna ult there from Gank by Mom, but it was not doing enough damage.
Too little, too late.
Yeah, too little, too late, basically, right there. And Insect did a really good job. Now, what's interesting about the...
Oh, man. Ryu, man, he hasn't died yet, so he can be a little bit cavalier. Oh, true shot barrage!
What a snipe!
I'm going to say it right now, man. Score has the best Ezreal ultimates I have ever seen, hands down.
Predicting that one off to the side of
How
the
do you
fountain,
do
too,
that?
was really smart by Score. Smart or lucky, you pick, but an impressive kill, and Score is now 1-6 in this game.
I'd call it lucky, but with Score, I mean, the consistency that he does these things with the Ezreal ultimate, with True Shot Barrage, I think it's a little bit more than luck with this guy.
I'd have to agree, and not only that, but his True Shot Barrage uses for minion wave clearing in side lanes has been a big factor in the KT Bullets' success with this champion, because he keeps the map pressure on. He knows when and how to use True Shot Barrage.
Yep. And there's a dragon for KT Bullets as well. So solid. What a great team. I mean, CJ Frost has been playing well this game, but KT just cannot be shaken at all this series, it seems like.
Well, I think there have been a couple of not so great fights for Frost, and taking a look at this one right there, there we go, the explosive cast getting Space quite low. Score finds a nice little safe place to fire that one off, and Space, this is next level mind games. So right there, they know the Ezreal ult, Frost knows the Ezreal ult is up, so they're saying, Space, don't walk straight into the fountain.
Yep.
So Score knows that they know that. Instead, offsets his True Shot Barrage in order to get the snipe.
Yeah, predicting it's going to the fountain, but nope. You just can't out-predict Score's True Shot Barrages. Next level mind games for sure. Well, KD back in the lane, CJ as well. Mid lane again, the point of contention, but I feel like KT now is when they're going to start looking for those Baron opportunities.
Yeah, we're also seeing the Gank by Mom has done a Rylai's build before onto Orianna, but this cuts down Orianna's burst damage quite a bit, and Shy still doesn't have that Archangel Staff yet, so low damage from CJ Frost.
Oh, going in, and
stole
they do. Did he still? He did. I believe he barely got it, yeah. I'm telling you, man, he is, well, he's not the King of Thieves, but he's close to it. He's a Prince of Thieves, we'll call it that. Who's the King of Thieves again? Is that Cacao, actually?
It's Dandy, man.
Dandy? Oh, okay, that's right. I knew it was some jungler. I couldn't remember. So many junglers.
So doing a check
so
right there.
Steals.
They don't have enough ward coverage right now to safely do that Baron. Feeling slightly uncomfortable about it.
Yeah.
But
and they should.
They know there aren't any wards from Frost right there. This game, though, I mean, this is the danger about going the Rylai's build on Orianna at this point, instead of getting something a little bit more higher in AP to increase her burst. They're really going to be relying a lot on Space to deal damage in these team fights. If Space goes down early, and let's remember, that's a very real possibility with Cacao able to instantly get into the back lines with a targeted ability, and Shen to stand united in.
And the thing is even with Crescendo, you can't stop enough of KTB to keep them from getting into the back line.
Yeah.
And not to mention, Ryu might bring him right into the front line with Explosive Cask anyway.
Yeah, and Shy's damage is getting pretty decent right here, but it's a damage over time. It doesn't give you that burst, and so they'll be able to focus him down quite easily if they can keep Space out of a fight from dealing damage to their tanks. So I am a bit concerned about this Rylai's. Yes, it'll give them better kiting and better control to save Space, but it does put a pretty big burden onto the AD carry.
And the Baron dance has kind of begun a little bit. KT, though, just moving into the jungle, trying to get more and more. Here comes Cloud Templar, chasing down Cacao. True Shot Barrage onto, or I'm sorry, Ace in the hole onto Score. Not doing a whole lot of damage. There's the True Shot Barrage. Good command protect, though, keeps Cloud Templar relatively healthy.
And again, just tossing out those barrel rolls in order to keep that pressure on the top lane.
Yep.
See Shy dirty farming down there in order to stop the shove coming in from Insect. But the Baron looks like it's about to be started, and it is already going down. Ryu zoning from the outside.
Really fast, too. And Cloud Templar very, very low. Ryu, yeah, doing that zoning. He can always dive into the pit if he needs to, and I don't think there's anything CJ can do about this Baron. There's not. There it goes. KT Rolster gets the Baron.
Well,
and
you'll
now
notice,
they're coming for turrets.
You'll notice, too, that they did a very thorough job of checking for wards because of the double teleport coming in. So they gave Frost really no ability to contest that with this Singed in the bottom lane. So just smart strategic play from the KT Bullets to be as methodical as possible.
That's what they do, and look at this already now. 8,000 gold ahead at 28 minutes. It just seems like no matter what happens, the objectives from KTB in this game, some kills as well, just helps them get that lead.
Yeah, Frost did put up a fight early on, but
fell apart a bit.
It did fall apart a bit, and that's too bad. You know, Space and Mad Life did have that big laning advantage.
Yep.
They were able to pick up some pretty crucial objectives early on, but they weren't able to transition very well into the mid game.
As talented as Space and Gank by Mom are, I feel like they're still kind of getting that chemistry in the team. We don't have that same CJ Frost chemistry that we've seen in past seasons yet from this slightly new roster.
Yeah, you know, I really wish Shy would play Jax right here so he could carry just a little bit harder in these games.
Wouldn't be a bad idea, would it? And Ryu coming down, they want Shy. And will they get him? Two-shot barrage coming across as well. Shy, barely missing with the two-shot barrage. Ryu traps him against the wall, though. That ninja's going nowhere.
They finally got fed up with the dirty farming right here.
Yep.
Managed to take him out, and
he's
Shy.
He's not even a ninja, is he?
No.
Well, he's got his
a
face
mad
partially
scientist.
covered. Maybe I just invented some new lore. He's like yet another ninja.
Well, I mean, we know he's about as good of a ninja as Shen is, so.
It's true. Instead of making a big show of his appearance, he just leaves a trail of poison behind him. Well, we'll give Shy the honorary ninja award for Singe this game, I guess. He does have teleports, so.
Well, you'll notice, too, how much Shy's very tanky at this point, but Ryu's still able to burst him very effectively thanks to that Void Staff. I mean, the 457 AP onto a heavy burst mage like Gragas. So dangerous. GVM has that Rylai's now. Slowing down score a little bit.
Yep. And Score playing it pretty risky. KT does get that tier 2 turn in bot lane, though.
No, that's all they need. They know they have a substantial advantage right now.
6 turrets to 1. CJ got the first turret of the game, but it was the last one for them up to this point. And there we go, another dragon for KT, just extending that gold lead up to 12,000 gold. I mean, gold isn't always everything, but 12,000, that's a significant amount.
It is, especially when it's a lot of that gold due to the way the kills were distributed is on to Score and Ryu. And that allows them to have items that just magnify their poking potential. And the siege coming in, the constant spam of barrel rolls and mystic shots is going to make it very difficult for CJ Frost to defend their turrets here, even the base choke.
Yeah, big chunks being taken out of Gank by Mom there with that barrel roll. Ryu poking again. And this turret in big trouble. Cacao coming up to lay a couple hits onto it.
Yeah, Score doesn't even care right there. They pop the lock-in just to get the shots onto the turret. Try and get that ace in the hole down so that there's at least some possibility that Score will back off. He doesn't have a lot of sustain here.
Yeah.
With his item though.
The turret remains for now, but not too long. We have the split push beginning from Insec as well in the mid lane. And the poke is just so good from KT Rolster Bullets right now. There's just not a whole lot that CJ can do. They have to go for it at some point, but they don't really have a lot of big engage. I mean, Cloud Templar is there on Garmin, of course, and there's that turret, but Cloud Templar is still a bit fragile this game.
Yeah, with the exposed inhib too. More ability spam coming in.
Yep.
Around that inhibitor.
And here we go, he's coming in now. Ryu does get crescendoed. Nice start, gets slipped in, gets away. There's the Cataclysm, though. Cloud Templar very, very low. In the meanwhile, Insect zoning people out in the back. Goodbye, Shy. There's a nice 3-man shockwave. A triple kill, though, for Ryu. And even though Gank by Mom has had those good ultimates, they're always a little bit too late. Ryu just showing off at this point.
Yeah, Yeah, he's just trying to make sure they can. Oh, Bop actually flashes in there with the Crow Storm. Space got his number, though. Takes him out. Score.
Yeah.
Gets a little bit too far forward. And the KT Bullets
They may need to back off, actually. It's kind of funny.
We see the KT Bullets do this. They play overly aggressively.
They do.
When they have a chance to take down Nexus turrets. This is a pattern we've seen from them repeatedly over the past few months.
Yeah, they get a bit overeager.
Overbold, cocky.
Yep.
But they get another inhibitor changing up their focus as they realize they can't take out the game right there in space. Oh, outplays Ryu.
I love that we got to see his face before we actually got to see the play. That was the one point where I don't mind the camera shot being on there. That was great.
Yeah, Ryu trying to be cute, hiding outside of that wall, but Space with some nice reaction
that was the most
in order to win that duel.
Most emotion I've ever seen on Ryu's face right there. Like, oh no, now I'm 9-1-7.
That's the face that says, "Are you kidding me?"
That's right. Oh wow. That is next level from you, Monte Cristo. Yep. Ridiculous. Ridiculous? That sounded easier to say in my head than it ended up being in real life. But oh well.
Well, with Cacao with that Banshee's Veil as well now, it's cutting down even further the damage from Cheyenne.
I guess you could say his perfect score this game was Ryu and...
Oh.
Thanks, will be here all week. Literally, till Saturday. It's all week.
So, KT Bullets trying to close this one out. Gonna go for the next Baron. Make sure that they get it. Dot their I's, cross their T's.
Yep.
CJ Frost has to deal with those 2 waves of super minions coming in, so there's very little chance that they'll be able to meaningfully contest this one. They may try anyway as a
they might just
desperation
have to go for it. Yeah, and they're going for it indeed right on the mop in the back lines. There's a Cataclysm blocking up Ryu. They do take down Mad Life though very quickly. Crescendo not doing a whole lot. Insect in the back lines. Ryu trying to get on to gank by Mom. Shy just on his own here. Finally turns around. Insect with the taunt. Doesn't quite reach Space. Space with some nice kiting, but just not enough. There's the ultimate now from Shen coming down onto Ryu. And Crowstorm over the wall onto gank by Mom, and Ryu body slamming his way over to Oriana. There's the fear. There's the kill. And Space, the last man standing, and he's not going to last for long. Double kill for score, and that's the game. So KT Bullets will go up 2 games on CJ Frost.
Well, it's a dangerous position for the Bullets, though. As we know, they were up. Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Oh, GG. And the KT Bullets take game 2.
And that's what a fed and farmed Gragas will do for you.
So, wow.
Nearly kill a support with only 2 abilities. Ryu, write something down, just checking it off right there.
Yep.
Game 2, he's got a little checkbox next to it, just checks it. All right. But KT Bullets were in this situation up 2-0 in the finals against SK Telecom, dropped the next 3, and they did look as dominating in the finals then as well.
They did, and Frost's still a very strong team, but I don't know, I feel like the momentum is just really, really with the Bullets right now. There, of course, is Insect. Maybe feeling a little bit sick today, but his play is looking sick in a good way.
That's right, 3-0-16 his stat line that game, so really doing a much better job than we've seen from him in the past couple of days where he's had a bit of trouble.
Man, scored 9-1-11 that game as well. What a series so far, and it's not done yet. A victory for KT Bullets, but it is a best of 5, and that means KT Bullets will need to win at least 1 more. Exactly 1 more, in fact. Will they do it after the break, or will Frost begin to mount a comeback? Ryu, well, maybe we'll get him some hot 6 or something during the break, see if we can perk him up a little bit. I think he's going to take a nap or something.
Nothing impresses Ryu.
He's like, can I play Victor? Like, no. All right, guys, we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Game 3, rather. I can't count. Coming up after this.